long time coming, but we're finally uploading today. Today is Saturday, 22nd of June 19, and just want to put this wee video up of the car behind me. It was featured in one of the group videos for the owners group, and ever since then I've had a few questions and people asked me what the story was about the car, so I thought I'd do this wee video today. So firstly, the main one I get is, what is a 200 VI? 200 VI is basically a top spec 200. So out of the factory it came with all-round disc brakes, ABS, it has electric windows, electric mirrors and electric sunroof, and it also has a rear anti-roll bar, the standard one that fits on the standard frame, on the H frame and the rear axle. Also, I've been told that some of the suspension stuff was strengthened, a bit of extra welding on the turrets, and maybe slight geometry settings different. I'm not 100% sure on that, but apparently that's only came on the VIs and the VRMs. The only thing it probably doesn't have is limit slip diff and things like that the VRM did have, which would obviously be nice. It is a 1.8 VVC, the older 143 brake horsepower version, but this particular car has a 52mm throttle body fitted and it goes extremely well. It's very, very quick. I've worked on plenty of 160s from TFs, ZRs, and I think the car would give any of them a good run. Apparently out of the box, the VI is a bit lighter too. It's just over a ton on the paintwork, which I believe would be lighter than a ZR, for example, and even with all the extras. So that's what breaks down a 200 VI. Secondly, how I came to have it. Basically, I have a customer not far away from here. He again is big into the cars. He had a few storage issues. He gave me a ring one day and told me to come and have a look. He has, I think, 2 or 3 cars, and I went up and had a look, and this one was the pick of the cars. It was another car that was great, but I thought one would be perfect. So I did a deal with him. Great guy to deal with. I was talking to him yesterday, and he really misses the car already. Unfortunately, he tried to MOT the car. He wanted to drive the car this year. The car was stored for about 6 years. It hasn't been MOT'd since 2009, and I got it through MOT there on Thursday. So that was a big relief for me. Really pleased. The car did need a good bit of work to get through. The main issue being brakes. The guy who owned it had a few issues trying to get a good brake pedal. He done a couple of things, but I just decided to start from scratch. A couple of calipers weren't actually the correct calipers. I then redid all the lines, so it's all braided lines now. I fitted the Freelander master cylinder because again it was a bit iffy, so that requires a bit of pipe alteration as well for the connectors and stuff like that. So that was all done. Everything bled up through the ABS system. I had a few issues with that, trying to get the air out of the system. T4 comes in very handy when you get the things like that. So after I got all that done, it has got a fantastic brake pedal now. It's one of the best setups I've ever used. The Freelander master cylinder is definitely a good upgrade, especially when you go to the larger brakes. I know this is only 262 fended fronts, but the reason they did that was because the car standard comes with 16s. It doesn't come with 17s like it has now. This car has some lowering springs fitted. This is lower than standard. It is, I believe, a 20-30mm drop, but they're not loose. The main issue you usually have with lowered springs is they become loose, especially the rear end. But these are actually quite tight still in the dampers, which is great. The car itself is fantastic. It's 74,000 miles on it. I've done all, obviously when it was in, did all the service stuff, timing belts, so, and all the coolant stuff was all repaired, changed all the gaskets, thermostat, and I have a radiator ordered for it, which I haven't got yet. But all that stuff's done, so I don't really have anything to worry about now. It's you never want any kind of water leaks with a K series. It just causes havoc. So I'm really happy now. Everything's good, and the thing is just fantastic to drive. It's one of the best driving cars I've had to own. Really good fun. The BBC and the chassis is just great. It's a really, really good thing to drive. Really, really, really driver's car. Really wants you to push on. And anybody that gets a chance to drive one or gets an experience or want to come up and drive mine, please feel free to come up. And it's a really, really nice thing to have. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with the car. I'll probably drive it this summer, and then I'll go to the body shop at the winter time. There's a few bits around the arches and the usual areas that need a wee bit of a touch up, a bit of TLC. So I'll probably do that before it goes away in storage over the winter. But and the feet body pits need tidied up. The bonnets and the wings aren't slightly right. I'm not too sure what's going on, but overall, I'm really, really pleased with the car. I did buy a Powerflow back box. I got one really cheap, and I had to replace the whole sock system anyway due to just sitting about, but it just doesn't really fit properly. It's off a ZR and the bumper's a bit different, and it just doesn't look right, so I'm going to have to get that fixed as well. But really nice note off it, and it really makes the car come alive. It's like I say, it's really a pleasure to drive, good fun. So that is the story behind the car. That's why I have it. It's a proper English car, or sorry, Irish car. That's on its original plates. It did live most of its life at a Rover specialist near me here. I believe one of the employees owned it for a good while before the previous owner owned it. So it probably has got a very good life. It's had probably a very rough life, but sometimes cars go with that. The engine is sweet as a nut, and I'm really pleased. I'm hoping to drive it a bit this year, and then we'll maybe see next year. I'll have to cut down here my collection of. I have got rid of some this year so far, but I've also bought two, so it's to and fro at the minute. I need to cut down the selection a bit, and that will probably happen later this year. So yeah, that's a 200 VI. I know people have asked me, when you do reg check the car, it does come up as a 2 litre. It's not a 2 litre. It's something to do with the FIFA wasn't registered properly. The CC is not correct on it. It's probably an honest mistake somewhere, but it is a 1.8 VVC and not a diesel, as everybody thinks it is. So that'll do us for today. Please keep tuned. There will be. I finally got caught up most of my customer stuff, and I've been starting work on my own stuff now. And like this has been a couple of weeks in the making, getting parts and stuff and getting it through MOT. And I will be moving on to next car, which will be fun. I'll be updating the series on it. So please keep tuned. Comment, ask questions, send me a message, whatever you want to do. I will see you soon.